Thanks so much for joining. Today we're just going to be doing a really easy, gentle movement. You can do this when you first wake up, you can do this to wind down, or if you just need a little break from your desk. Nice place to be. I am sitting on a blanket, so if you need a blanket or a block, go ahead and grab that now. If you don't have a blanket or a block, you can always use a towel or a couple towels, but I just like to keep my hips a little bit higher than my knees, or maybe more in line with my knees, so that I'm not sitting like this. So go ahead and find a comfortable seat. Go ahead and, if it's okay for you, close your eyes. And then think about drawing the ears back over the shoulders. Maybe an ever so slight tuck of the chin. And just start to tune in with your breathing. How does it feel? Where do you feel the movement as you inhale? And where do you feel the movement as you exhale? Make sure you're not clenching the jaw. And make sure you're not trying to suck the abdomen in. Can you allow the abdomen to move as you inhale and as you exhale? And if the eyes were closed, go ahead and blink them back open. We're just going to start with a really gentle neck stretch. So just stay seated however you're comfortable, and then go ahead and let your left ear fall over to your shoulder. And then keeping the ear down, you're just going to make little head shakes, no, but keep that tilt, ear towards shoulder. And then how can you use the breath here to move? So maybe inhale, slicing the chin up, and exhale, the chin down. Do that again, inhale it up, and then exhale down. And then the next time the chin goes up, stay there. And maybe you start to stretch the left arm down towards the ground, maybe finding a little bit deeper of a stretch. And then go ahead, head comes back to neutral, and we'll go the other way. Go ahead and bring your opposite ear to your shoulder. Keep the tilt, and then inhale, the chin comes up. Exhale, the chin slices down. So shattering this illusion that your breathing and your movement are separate entities. How can you breathe to move? One more time, inhale, chin up. And exhale down. And the next time the chin comes up, we'll hold. And then stretching the left arm down. Ooh, that one gets me. Breathe. Nice deep exhale. And then back up to center. And from here, we're just going to look right. Look left. Inhale to center. Exhale to the right. Inhale to center. Exhale to the left. We'll go one more time over to the right. And then you're going to tuck your chin down. Go ahead and take your right hand on the back of your head. And then if it's okay for you, you'll pull the chin in so that you can really stretch out, really where the base of your skull and your neck kind of meet. And then gently release. Go ahead and recenter everything out. We'll look over to the other side. And then you'll tuck the chin in, take that left hand behind the head, And as you do this, I know I have a tendency to kind of want to hunch up the other shoulder. So that shoulder stays relaxed. And then can you utilize the exhale breath to just kind of melt into the stretch? Unhook, back to center, and from here we're going to inhale and stretch the arms up. And if it ever doesn't feel good to lift the arms straight, I'm a big fan of the cactus, or you can just keep the arms wider. And sometimes I like to really hunch the shoulders up and then press them down, and it reminds me to just kind of relax the shoulders. And if it works for you, the eye gaze lifts. No requirement ever on lifting the chin. And then we'll take the right hand down to the ground and lift up and stretch. Not too worried about how far you go. I just want you to think about keeping that left hip plugged down. And then I'm a big fan of taking my hand behind my head, pressing the base of my skull into the hand. And that creates a little bit more support for my neck. And then maybe a little bit more length on the left side of my body. And then really gentle back through center. Use an inhale, stretch up. And as you exhale, left hand drops. We'll stretch it up and over to the side. If you feel like you need that support, if you're like me, I like to keep my neck supported. We get to carry around our head all day. So sometimes it's really nice to have a little bit of help. Think about pressing the right butt cheek down, and then can you lift the right armpit up? Really the right butt cheek down, right armpit up. And then back through center. One more time, we'll inhale up. And the right hand will come behind us. The left hand crosses the body. Go ahead and keep the eye gaze down, the chin slightly tucked. Take an inhale, really lengthen the back. And as you exhale from the bottom up, you're going to roll lower back, middle back, and then the head will turn last. If it doesn't work for you to turn your head, you just don't do that. So you should always have freedom in your yoga practice to change the pose, to change the breath, so that it works better for you. And then just back through center. Inhale, stretch the arms up. Exhale, left arm falls back, right arm crosses the body. Eye gaze stays down and kind of directly over that left knee. We'll pull the base of the skull back, a little slight tuck of the chin, and twisting from the bottom up. No requirement on how far you twist. No requirement on how far you turn your head. The only requirement really is how can you use your breathing to move through your practice a little bit more efficiently. And then back through center. From here, if you were sitting on a blanket or a block, you're just going to move it out of the way. And we're going to stretch the legs long, just kind of shake them out here. Maybe shake them right and left, up and down. You can even give your thighs a little love, maybe the outside of the thigh. And then from here, go ahead and bend your knees. And I want you to give yourself a really big hug. So, if your forehead doesn't touch your knees, no big deal. They'll just stack one hand on top of the other. You can always place a block here. But I just want you to relax. So go ahead and let your head fall into your knees. And with every exhale, can you become a little bit more contained in your space? If you were hunching the shoulders, relax them down. And on your next inhale, go ahead and lift back up to center. We're gonna do some seated kind of cat-cow breathing. So you can hold on to the backs of your legs, or you can hold on to the front of your shins, whatever's best for you. As you inhale, you're gonna press the sternum forward and then really squeeze the shoulder blades down the back. And think about the abdomen opening. No requirement on lifting the chin. So if that doesn't work for your neck, you just don't do it. And then as you exhale, I want you to really scoop the tailbone under and round the shoulders, chin tucks into the chest, falling back. And then keep moving with your breathing. Inhale, pressing the chest forward, and exhale, rounding back. Inhale, lift. Exhale, round. We'll do that one more full set. Inhale, up. Exhale, down. And then from here, however is easiest for you to just lay back. You may want to hold on to the backs of your thighs. Just go ahead and lay down and stretch the legs up. No requirement on getting the legs straight, so if they don't go all the way straight, no big deal. From here, you're just going to point and flex the feet. Getting some movement through the ankles, utilizing the calf muscles. And then from here, you're just going to roll the feet out. Doesn't matter which way you roll. We're going to go both ways. But sometimes the legs want to get involved. So the legs are stationary and it's just the feet that are moving. And then go ahead and reverse your roll. And when you feel like you've had enough, we'll just bend the knees in. Give yourself a little squeeze. Maybe a rock. You can roll around here. And then we'll stretch into the inner thighs. So holding on to the shins. Do try to focus on the neck here. So make sure you're not like a Pez dispenser. So there's an ever so slight tuck of the chin. And then we'll just let the knees fall out side to side. Maybe rock right and left until you get into that little spot that you like. You can do happy baby here, stacking the feet on top of the knees. My hips really don't like that, so I just stay like this. And then as you exhale, can you think about drawing the shoulder blades down the back, letting the knees get heavy. You don't necessarily have to pull on the legs. Not always looking for more range of motion. And then when you're ready, knees come back together, feet come down. We'll come into a really gentle twist. I like to keep my knees stacked one on top of the other. My hips are gonna bump to the left, knees fall to the right. Taking my right hand on top of my thigh, stretching my left arm straight in front of my face, and then using an inhale to lift and an exhale to lower that arm down. So I like to use my right tricep to press into the ground, walk my right shoulder blade kind of out from underneath me, and that allows the left shoulder to get a little bit more flat. You can look left, you can look right. I prefer to look straight up to the ceiling. And then back to the breathing. Letting the abdomen move as you inhale and as you exhale. And maybe as you exhale, you can just become a little bit more settled. And then gentle on the lower back. I like to go one knee at a time to come back to center. And then my hips will bump over to the right. Knees pull in. They fall to the left. Left hand on top of the right thigh. Inhale, reach. And then exhale, the right arm comes down. On this side, I use my left elbow and tricep muscles to lift and roll the left shoulder blade out from underneath me. And then how can you use your breath to just become a little bit more settled? One knee at a time, coming back through center. Maybe pull the knees out just to recenter everything off. Little circles if that feels good for the lower back. And then go ahead and just roll over to one side, using the bottom arm almost like a little pillow. Resting the head on the arm. And then use the strength of the top hand to press into the ground. Come back up to a seated position. So this is just a quick little relax, unwind. Come back to a comfortable space. Sit however you need to sit. Back to the inhale. Back to the exhale. Try to draw the ears back over the shoulders. As you inhale, can you make your spine a little bit lighter, a little bit more lifted? And as you exhale, can you make your seat heavier so that you can start to feel more grounded, more in touch with the earth even, maybe, if you're into that sort of thing. Whether you're using this to wind down or to get ready for your day, I hope it makes you feel better. Thank you so much for taking the time to practice with me.